Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games, back with another cool pinball repair video for you today. We've been working on this Lost World pinball machine, and we've almost got it, but it's got a few things left. We need to mess with the flippers, and we need to mess with the shooter rod, and we need to fix this freaking door. Joe, is this the worst door you've ever seen?
Yes.
Joey says it's the worst door he's ever seen. Look at this thing. So we looked, and you can get a new skin for the door for $90. But people, we've spent so much on this thing. Joey, will you spend $90 on a new skin for the door?
No.
He says he won't spend $90 for a new skin for the door. So our only option is to try to beat the damn thing back straight. And it's really screwed up. Look at all this. So we're not going to get it perfect. There's no way it's going to get perfect. But we can definitely get it better than this. Look at this crap. I don't even understand how they got it that bad. I mean, I understand people kick a door sometimes, but like, how did this happen? You know? I guess people trying to pry it open and steal money out of it. See the hole here? They had a security bolt there at one point, you know, so this would have had like a big flat blade on it, or, well, there's one over here too, so they probably had a bar that went across or something. But if you haven't been watching this whole series, this game was beat all to crap to start with, and we've about got it pretty nice. It had been parted out, even missing the back glass, so we've ordered a new back glass. We put new LED displays in it. We were able to save the original MPU board. You know, so we didn't have to spend money on that. We had to repaint part of the playfield. But we did have to spend money on the back glass and the LED displays. So we're trying to save a little money here and not spend that $90. And like you just heard, Joey won't do it anyway. So we're going to take this coin door off, take the skin off, and then try to beat it back flat with a hammer and see if we can at least get it presentable where people will not throw up whenever they see it. And we're going to try to clean off all of the filth. The filth needs to go. So I'll unbolt it from the machine and we'll see how it ends up. Alright, so me, Joe, and Sonic the Hedgehog took this off. There was just 4 screws holding it to the hinge. On the solid states, you can, well, I think it's on the EMs too. They had a little different thing, a Jones plug, but on the solid states, you can just unplug it. So this thing, it's also got, the lights don't have wiring to them anymore. Somebody's been barely keeping this one alive, people. Okay, so we got it off the game. So that's the worst spot there. So we're going to take this back plate off so we can get down to just the skin, and we'll see how beat up that looks. Okay folks, so we took all the stuff off. About a 5-minute job if you have to do it yourself. It'll be about a 30-minute job to put it back because I won't know where everything goes, but it'll be alright. So this is what we're starting with. All that's pretty good because it was covered. All this is pretty bad. Joey, are we going to get it perfect?
No.
No, we're not going to get it perfect.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
We ought to get it better than this. Look how the inside looks. It's all beat up because people are kicking it and stuff. Want them quarters real bad. You think this was in a skating rink?
Probably.
See, in a roller skating rink, you have the same kids being little terrorists as they are at every other location, except now they've got 5-pound weights strapped to their feet that they can kick things with. So it may have been a roller skate damage. All right, so Joe is going to take it outside and beat the hell out of it with a hammer. I don't know why he's got a mallet. That ain't going to help Joe.
Might.
We're going to take it outside and beat the hell out of it with a hammer on this board and see if we can get it flat. So let's go film some of that. All right, so Joe has put it on a piece of plywood, and he's now going to beat the hell out of it with a hammer and a piece of a 2x4. Go for it, Joe. When I did it to the other one, hey, try not to hit that center diamond. You know what I mean?
What?
That was adding dents, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, that's better.
Oh, we're fixing it real good.
Yeah, we're fixing the hell out of this. You know who we need to get over here? It's our brother Don. He'd fix the hell out of it. See, on the other one, I was just doing that one little lip around the coin return. Much better.
Might have to spend that $90. Get these corners.
Yeah, fix that corner up a little bit. Boy, it did fix that. People keep leaving us comments saying, how much does it cost for you to restore something? And then I say, well, I don't really consider it restoration. Now people know why. Okay, if you get it kind of flat, where it's kind of right, we can put a board behind it and then beat every one of them little dents with a board behind it. You know what I mean? Yeah, let me see if I can go get a little piece of 2x4. All right, we're going to try to beat it out with that. And if that won't work, we kind of need something metal, really. So all we've got is this old isolation transformer that doesn't work anymore. So we're going to try the two. I think the wood might be too soft, though. All right, Joe. The end's probably stronger. But I guess you could lay it down flat too. And then put it like in the corner up there. And then, you know what I mean? Now that it's nice and flat and it's supported. Worse or better?
Can't tell. It might be worse.
Okay, now turn it over and do the same thing on that side. Who we really need is Jesse James. He would have had this fixed already. But what was the guy in Florida, the cool guy that rode all the way across the country on that one bike he built? He was building the whole things by hand, all of them.
One of the guys went to jail.
Yeah, that guy was him. He's probably out by now. I don't know, Joe. What do you think?
Not going too good.
Really, folks, we didn't have much choice. The thing looked horrible. We couldn't have left it. It does kind of look better. It's just, it's beat up, but it ain't. It is a lot more flat. All right, work that spot a little more.
What's the front?
No, the front. We'll put it on the front. There you go. Beat that shit flat. It's pinching it. I don't know, buddy. It's a little. I mean, you did beat the damn dent out. It's just how you put a bunch more smaller ones in. Okay, folks, we're gonna keep working it and see how good we can get it. Okay, folks, we got most of the big dents hammered out. Beat the crap out of it. We just flipped it over and over and over again on that board. Like beat them that way and then turn it over and beat it again until it got it kind of flat. It's not perfect. We're obviously not metal workers. We don't have much equipment. We're using a hammer and a 2x4. But what we're going to do is we're going to clean it up and then we're going to spray it with hammered spray paint and hopefully that'll make it look a lot better. So we'll see what happens. Okay, folks, so this is after cleaning and Joey sanding it a little bit. Now, what did you say about it, Joe? This is how Joey describes it.
It ain't all that bad.
It ain't all that bad, he says. Okay, so we're going to go put some paint on it and see if it still looks ain't all that bad. Still looking kind of dented, Joey.
Yep.
We're coming up with conspiracies of how we can hide almost the whole door with various stickers and stuff. Put a little bit of that hammered gray on there.
It's hammered.
Hammered, boy, it's hammered all right. Hey, if the guy that buys it complains, now we don't have a customer yet, people, so just so people don't freak out, we're fixing this and then it's advertised for sale. So if somebody doesn't like it, they will have full knowledge that it was like that when they bought it, right? So yeah, if they ask any questions, we'll just say that's what hammered paint looks like.
Yep.
Okay, folks, that's how it ended up. Not bad. We've cleaned up our little faceplate. Going to add it back on. That's going to help it a lot, I think. So I'll start screwing the stuff back together. We're cleaning it as we go so that it looks good. Boy, we got all kinds of noise in here. Hey, you arcade games, keep it down back there. Trying to talk. So we're bolted all back on and see how it looks when it's done. What do you think? I think it's presentable. I think once we bolt it on the cabinet, it'll look a lot better. Get a nice little key installed. Not bad. Okay, so now we're going to look at the flippers for a minute. One of them keeps sticking. Okay, so I popped the hood on this bad boy. And so I was test playing it, and when I hit this right flipper button, the flipper sometimes would stick up. Okay, so I didn't have the glass on, so what I did was I tried to push it back down. And so by doing that, you can tell if it's just barely holding up, like it's some kind of mechanical thing, or if you're getting power fighting you, right? And I was getting power fighting me. So the power is screwed up somehow. So what that means is this switch is getting stuck. Here, I'll just zoom in. Now, while I was just standing there, I pushed that button. Let me get a flashlight so you can see it better. Okay, so see how it is stuck together right now? So that's the deal. Lucille. So the switch itself is sticking, and that's why. Now, why is the switch sticking? Zoom back in and we'll see if we can get it to do it again. Yeah, see, it's stuck right there. See, now it's open. So it's just adjusted a little too close to itself, and there's probably pitting on those contacts in there. So I need to clean the contacts. I'm going to use a file and file down the contacts, and I'm going to adjust it out a little bit so that it's a little farther away, and that should fix my flipper sticking problem. And then, of course, I'll do the other side too. Okay, so one of the problems was both of them, this screw is loose. Look what happens when I push the button. See the red thing moving? That screw is loose. I don't know if it's because they did that on purpose or if it's just worked its way out over the years. So when I got it nice and flat on that side, it no longer stuck. So then I used a little file on the contacts. Now you don't want to file any contact, just the ones that are designed for it. But let me show you something interesting here. I learned this years ago. If you get one that you've worked through and the flipper starts sticking up like this one just was, I just sanded those contacts. Look at that. See all the dust on the stack there? That's all metallic shavings that just came off the contacts. That is conductive. So sometimes you'll get the same thing where it's not enough to make the flipper flip, but the shavings are conductive and they'll leave the flipper stuck up. So after you shave them, you always have to blow the dust off. Right? So make sure you get rid of all the dust on that if you clean them. Okay, the next thing we're going to take care of, the shooter rod. The springs are all worn out and broke and all of that. A lot of times I don't replace these, but whenever they're like this, and see up here where it's already broke on itself. Whenever they're like this, they just don't do their thing like they need to. So to take it off, you take, of course, the rubber tip off, and then there's a little C-clip here. It's a little different on some of the other games, but there's a little C-clip here you take off, and then all that stuff can come out. Okay, so once we take it apart, as you can see, the springs have actually broken. That's why they're not working right. So that one's broke. This one actually broke into 5 different pieces. 4 different pieces. So these are super cheap. You can get them all over the place. They're not all the same size, though. Like, I don't know if that's the right length or not. Some of them are taller than others. And so you got to kind of just eyeball it and see if it looks like it's about the same. Actually, that does kind of look the same. And then sometimes the shooter rod housing, like where it hits the ball, it'll be mushroomed out at the end a little bit, and you'll figure that out whenever you try to pull it out. This one there's a little bit of something going on there, but it's not enough that I got to worry about it because it came all the way out. So I'm going to put new springs on it, and I got the long ones here. Also, depending on which long one you put in, it'll change the amount of force that the shooter rod has. And you might think, yeah, make it real strong. It's not always what you want. It just depends on the game. And like on this game, on Lost World, a really strong one wouldn't help anything. It might break something. So I'm just going to try to get one that is good enough to get the ball up the shooter lane. Much better. Okay, we're getting down to the end where there's only a few things left to do to the game. One of the things we have to do is we have to mess with the flippers a little bit. On these older Bally's, the early solid state ones, the flippers are strong as hell. I mean, they work great usually. And they already work fine on this game, but I'm going to make them a little bit better just for preventative maintenance. Now that we've fixed where they were sticking because of the switches, the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put new nylon sleeves in the coils. I'm going to put new plungers on them because there's a little bit of wear in the plunger. And then we're going to clean, of course, the end of stroke switches there because some of the power runs through it. But the way you can tell if you need new plungers is if there's wear in them. So see how that will move before the plunger moves? That's because that hole in there is elongated. And whenever it does that, when this pulls in, it has to... Some of your slap is in the slop, you know what I mean? So it makes them weaker. So whenever they're like that, I've swapped the plungers and I put a new nylon sleeve inside the coil. Sometimes they still have the old metal ones in it. The coils usually don't weaken. If there's a problem with your flippers, it's usually never the coil unless the coil is burnt up and the sleeve is stuck in it, or the it's open so it doesn't work anymore, or it's shorted so that it's always on and that'll blow a fuse if that's what's going on though. So usually the coil is a works or doesn't work type of thing. So unless it has physical damage where it's heated up so much that the sleeve's stuck in it, just leave the coil. You don't have to replace it. You can also replace other things. You can put a new pawl on it, but I don't see much wear on those. Sometimes you do need to replace the end of stroke switches if these contacts are pitted too much. Sometimes you'll see where the blade's half burnt through and everything else. So sometimes they've got serious damage that need to be replaced. Sometimes the coil stop needs to be replaced. Whenever you take that off, if the end of it is all messed up. Sometimes the coil stop can be magnetized to where the flipper is staying up, but it's more of a mechanical thing. So whenever you turn off, well, I guess if it's magnetized it wouldn't be, but sometimes it will be magnetized where the paw will stick in, and then if you just barely touch it, it'll come back out. So, so yeah, not too much to them. And you can also, you know, if it's your only machine and or you don't mind spending the money, you can buy a whole kit and rebuild everything on the flippers. It's not that expensive, probably $50, $60. But it's a little overkill. Usually you just need new plungers and new coil sleeves, sometimes in a stroke switch. So I'll take it apart. We'll put a new coil sleeve in it and new plungers, and we'll see how they look after that. All right, there were no big surprises, new links, new sleeves, cleaned and adjusted the end of stroke switches. Here's the old sleeves. They just get filthy and worn. Here's the old plungers. The link is actually just this part, but you know, we replaced the whole thing. They're about, I think they're $5 or $6. But you can see how the end had started to mushroom up too. Oh, you kind of can. There you go. So what happens is that gets all mushroomed up from hitting the coil stop, and then as it drags back through the sleeve, it scratches the inside of this nylon sleeve, and then it makes it where it'll get hung in there and things, and it slows you down. You have a little friction, and then of course the slop in that, as well as how elongated that hole is giving you all kinds of sloppiness in your flippers, and you don't want sloppiness. You want snappiness. Snappy good, sloppy bad. Okay, so I'm gonna screw the coin door back on. We're gonna button it up a little bit, and then I got to put a lock on it. Okay, so we threw a new lock in. I always love the way these work. So you know the door is open here. You close that back, and the back glass goes in front of it. It's literally a big sheet of glass. And the way this lock up here works is, so it's locked right now. You put the key in, and you turn it. And what it does is it moves a bar that's on top of the glass back out of the way. See the little hook? There's one on each side. Well, when I lock it, it moves it on top of the glass so that if you lift the glass up, it hits that metal bar and it's locked. To unlock it, you just turn it back, it moves it out of the way, and now the glass can go up into a slot in the top of the cabinet. Pretty cool. All right. And the coin door, come on people, you can't even tell. Like on this video, you can't even, like, well, in the shot right now, you can't even tell. It's not that big of a deal. So let's compare it. We've been looking at this ugly coin door this whole time, right? So here, I'll make it the size of the camera. Looks completely fine, right? Okay, now I'm going to move over to a Gottlieb Spider-Man that we're working on. Come on, it's in similar shape. Look, that one's got a credit button somebody drilled on it. Okay, so we're working on a gentleman's Bally skate ball. You'll see those videos soon. So it's banged up a little bit at the bottom. Okay, here's our Bally rapid fire that we've had for so long. Right? Here's a Williams pat hand that we're messing with. And here's a Williams, I won't tell you what this one is. This will be a surprise. This is an old Williams EM. So, you know, come on. Doesn't look that bad, folks. It's not perfect, but it doesn't look that bad. So, that is our, I believe this video will be on a Friday. What do you think about this as our Friday video? All right, so let's see if the plunger works all right. If we've got a credit on it. We do. And look, I finally put the pinball where it's supposed to go. Right? Will she plunge? Oh, yeah. Look, once you rebuild the pop bumpers, they play themselves, people. Look at that. So will the flipper get stuck? Didn't quite hit it hard enough to knock it all the way back. All right, so I'm going to change my camera hand. I hope I don't drop it like I did that other time. It was horrible. Let's try the right one. It's not getting stuck, people. Pretty cool. All right. So we were test playing it. I see two things wrong with the cabinet. One of them I'm going to fix, one of them I'm not. Okay, so you may have seen something wrong while I was playing it there. Since I test so many of them, I always catch it, or I catch more of it. Okay, so one thing that I see wrong is we never got the coin door bulbs to work because they cut the wires out of the harness. Why would you do that? Oh my God. Why do people do stuff like that? Biggest pain in the ass. Like I got to run wires all the way back. So it may not end up with coin door bulbs. It's on free play anyway. So that's one thing. And then the other thing, you may have not noticed, but I noticed, when I test played it the other day, which was probably yesterday's video, I don't know, I haven't uploaded these yet, so, you know. When I test played it the other day, and then when I test played it just now, at the end of ball 2, when the ball landed down here, it didn't end the ball. And it did that the other day, too, so that switch is dirty in the out hole. Right, now when I started flipping the flipper, it must have moved the ball a little bit, and it made the switch sense it, so I'm going to clean that, and then we're going to play it and everything. But that will be on a different video. You know why? Because we're doing a video every day this week. Now, when I say every day, I don't mean Monday through Friday. Oh, no. We're going to have videos on Saturday and Sunday this week, too. So, in honor of my brother Donnie, we're going to do a video every day like he does. He's a video-making fool. So, if you haven't seen that yet, we have another channel that's ran by my brother Donnie, who is literally my brother Donnie, right? And he and I are working on an old mobile home that we bought that was beat all up. And we're fixing it up. And lots of crazy things have happened. Everything in the thing has been broke, and we've tried to fix everything. And we're going to rent it out whenever we get done. So go check that out if you get time. It has nothing to do with arcade games, but it's pretty funny. And Donnie's a complete character. He does a lot of small engine repair and things like that. That's pretty interesting to watch. He's one of those people that believes where there's a will, there's a way. So there'll be a link down below. You can go check it out and subscribe to him if you'd like. I'm on that channel a lot too. And then finally, I'll say, if you look down below, there will be a link to our Amazon page. If you click that link, you don't have to sign up for anything or anything like that. It's just if you have the notion, if you get the notion, I'm thinking of that song, I'd like to know if you got the notion. So if you get the notion that you want to buy something on Amazon, click our link before you do it. And Amazon says, oh, hey, look, they just came right from Joe's Video Games. And they give us some of Jeff Bezos' money. So we'd like to thank everybody that's been doing that. Tons of people have been doing that. And that's pretty cool. We're not going to charge people to watch our videos. We're not going to set up a Patreon account or anything like that. We don't want you to donate your money to us or send us your money. But if you feel like you want to help, if you click that link before you buy something on Amazon, anything, a toothbrush or a Ferrari, it gives us a little percentage of whatever you buy. And it doesn't raise your prices or anything, and you don't have to create an account or sign up for anything. It's that easy. Right, so leave your comments below. Let us know what you think so far of this sucker. How do you think the coin door came out? You want me to stand to the side so you can see the light hit it? I don't know, man. Looks perfect on this angle. Okay, so leave your comments below. Let us know what you think about it, and we'll see you tomorrow.